Dear all, we'll talk about theories and techniques of group counseling. Um, you already know that the theories we are going to cover for group counseling are the same theories actually that you have covered so far in theories of personality and theories of psychological counseling courses. Therefore, I will just point out to the main points and we'll skip quickly. But of course, if you have any questions, if there is anything that you didn't understand, you can ask your questions under the YouTube videos in the comments part, okay? So everyone can see your questions. Maybe you will have some common questions and I'll be able to answer those questions for all of you. Um, we will cover firstly psychodynamic approaches, then experiential relationship-oriented approaches, cognitive behavioral therapies, and postmodern approaches to group counseling. As I've said before, the techniques and theories are the same, but there are some points that we differentiate in terms of group counseling. But at the basis, the logic is the same, okay? Because we are talking about the same theories, they don't differentiate with respect to individual or group counseling approach. So let's start. Firstly, we will talk about general categorization of the theories. As I've said, we have four categorization, and firstly we'll talk about psychodynamic approaches. These approaches stress insight in therapy. In group counseling, with these approaches, we want to foster our clients to gain some insights, okay, to be more aware of themselves. Second categorization composes of experiential and relationship-oriented approaches. These stress feelings and subjective experiencing of the clients. You already know these theories, the existential person-centered Gestalt and psychodrama approaches, and at the basis of these approaches, actually, there is the relationship between client and the therapist. And since we are talking about group counseling, we are also focusing on the relationships among the members of the group, okay? And third one is cognitive behavioral approaches. They stress the role of thinking and doing and tend to be action oriented. You know, these approaches in generally tend to explore faulty, mistaken, distorted thinkings, okay, and thoughts. So they are trying to face the client with these distorted thinking, and they help the clients to find alternatives to these mistaken beliefs and thoughts. And they, in general, believe that our thoughts affect how we feel, and how we feel also affect our behaviors. But behavior therapy, cognitive therapy, rational emotive behavior therapy, and reality therapy focus on different parts of these dimensions. And lastly, we have postmodern approaches. They stress understanding the subjective world of the client and tap existing resources and of the client actually. And they are solution focused brief therapy, narrative therapy, and feminist therapy that we are going to cover. For psychodynamic approaches, you know, we have psychoanalytic therapy and Adlerian therapy under the umbrella term of psychodynamic approaches. And psychoanalytic therapy, you already know, they are dealing with unconscious material, and Adlerian therapy differs from psychoanalytic theory in terms of not focusing that much on the early childhood experiences of the clients, but rather they are after developing social interests, after fostering the clients to develop a meaningful lifestyle. Now we'll briefly go on with the key concepts of both of these approaches. To start with psychoanalytic approach, you know that they defend the idea that people are being influenced by unconscious motivation and early childhood experiences. So how we are today, who we are today, is shaped by our past experiences and our early childhood experiences, and how we handled the psychosexual stages Freud had proposed previously. And since we are talking about group psychotherapy, you already know that we have a longer process in group psychotherapy, right? Which is following a psychoanalytic approach. And in these longer processes, actually, the inner conflicts of our clients, of the group members, are analyzed in the group. Okay, where these inner conflicts are rooted and from where they come from the past and how they influence the group members are analyzed in the group. And the basic aim of psychoanalytic approach in group counseling is to restructure the personality. Okay, and they are taking information from past and evaluating today's well-being, how those past experiences have influenced the client, the group members at now, and afterwards what they will do with these information and with these insight later in group counseling. Okay, and briefly, the psychoanalytic approach aims to make the unconscious conscious, and the basic aim is to restructure the personality of the group members. Actually, psychoanalytic um, therapy followers, therapists who are following this approach, are generally detached. Okay, not they are not like therapists who are following person-centered approach, and they are objective in their collaboration with the group members, but at some points think that there is a line and they are here at the detached point. They may go to the line where some caring and showing interest to the group members may involve to encourage them participate or to deal with their resistances, but mostly we know that they seem to be detached and very objective, standing outside and just listening to the group members. You already know about the techniques: free association of group members, their dream analysis, and their resistance analysis are the techniques that we use. Also, the therapist can interpret about the situations, about the dreams of the group members. Actually, at the basis of psychoanalytic approach, there is this transference issue. Either transference coming from client to the therapist or from therapist to the group member. Hence, this is considered in psychoanalytic approach to be representing a microcosm of everyday life, since these transferences will not be only from the client to the therapist, but from client to client transferences may also exist in the group. So as you as a therapist must be aware of these. And at the basis, analysis of transference is utilized to increase awareness, to acquire insight in our group members. And leaders' responsibility in its essence is to help members discover the degree to which they respond to others in the group as if they were their parents. We are talking about transference here, you already catched it, I know. And to provide a safe, natural environment where spontaneous thoughts and feelings can flow up, especially through free associations, and to explore past impact on today, and of course to deal with countertransference. If you are not able to deal with your countertransference towards any specific group member or more than one group members, then you should ask for supervision, consultation, or you should take your own therapy. To go on with Adlerian approach, you already know that Adlerian approach refers to the unity of personality. They say that we are primarily social beings. We are, of course, influenced by our family dynamics, our past, but also we have today, and we have the capacity to create our lifestyle. And since we are social beings, we are united with people around us. So they defend that we influenced and motivated by societal forces as well. So as they focused on also understanding individual subjective perspective and focus on the importance of life goals that they give direction to behavior. We will detail them now. They say that we have inherent feelings of inferiority, and they don't see this inferiority as something bad, something horrible. They say that all of us have something missing from birth to death. It may be height, it may be an organ, it may be a capacity to verbally express ourselves, anything. We have always something that it will miss in us. And they defend that as a result of these parts, we can feel ourselves inferior. Uh, at this point, feeling inferior will trigger us to survive, and beyond that survival, we will be motivated to achieve something in life. We will be motivated to get mastery or competence of anything in life in order to compensate for our feeling of inferiority. The subjective decisions each person makes regarding the specific direction of the striving from the basis of the individual's lifestyle will lead them to create a lifestyle, to have a lifestyle. And Adlerian approach defends that the style of life consists of our views about others, the world, ourselves, and our life goals. How you will do this in a group setting is to ask your clients, ask the group members, how is your relationship with other people? Or how is your relationship with the world? And how is your relationship with yourself? And what about your life goals? What are your life goals? Such questions can be considered and referred to group members in if you are following an Adlerian therapeutic approach in a group setting. And they defend that we can influence our own future by actively and courageously taking risk. Okay, in Adlerian approach, in a group setting, the therapist is trying to create a family-like atmosphere where everyone will feel themselves safe to be able to re-experience the conflicts that originated in their original family. Okay, so family constellation, which is getting information about the family members and the dynamics in the family, is a technique that is used very much in Adlerian therapy. And from the perspective of group counseling, the group is viewed as a representation of society, like we mentioned in psychoanalytic approach, microcosm of society, right? And this allows members to better understand their own dynamics by seeing patterns of family dynamics emerging within the group. Okay, maybe this is a common point psychoanalytic approach and Adlerian approach carry, because still we are here trying to understand how the group member has been affected by the group, by the family dynamics, by the family relations in his or her past. Okay, so group is considered to be a place where these conflicts and confrontations can be triggered actually. Okay, also Adlerian therapy aims to bring group members' personal history, their past, into the present group, And we will talk about this acting as if technique, but new behavioral patterns are achieved by you utilizing from this acting as if technique. And therapeutic goals are to foster social interest in others, in nature, in world, facilitating a sense of connectedness with others because we are social creatures, social beings, we are related. So this connectedness is firstly achieved in the group setting, and the welfare of others is important, so we aim to encourage our clients to think of the welfare of others. And we ask them and we aim for them to enhance to a sense of identification, and we are after triggering empathy with others, which means we will lead our group members to empathize with other people. Okay, for therapeutic relationship, cooperation, mutual trust, respect, collaboration, alignment of goals are very important. And also, group leader has the responsibility to model a type of communication, okay, which will reflect a cooperative, trusting, and respecting manner. So firstly, we model the type of communication, because remember, we will encourage our clients, the group members, to develop relationships with other people, to feel connectedness, right? And to be in relationship with other people, to feel connected, to empathize with them. They should learn these from somewhere, someone. And here in group setting, we are responsible for modeling those behaviors, so they will imitate us and they will achieve these things, and as a result they will develop social interest in other people and in nature and world, etc. There is egalitarian therapeutic alliance in the group setting, and there is always person-to-person relationship. To go on with the techniques that are utilized in Adlerian therapy, actually, group therapists should be very skillful, and that he or she should have different techniques in his or her toolbox, so to be able to use them appropriately for each different group member. In this therapeutical technique, this approach, we give too much importance to the uniqueness of our group members. Hence, we don't have just one technique and we apply it to everyone. Okay. And besides that, we should be attending. We should be there, present. You already know about these techniques. We had also covered in our class, but you should have covered in theory and principles and techniques of counseling courses as well. We should be there. We should be attentive. And at the time needed, we should do confrontation. We will both confront, but also support. Summarization is a good technique in Adlerian therapy. I had given lots of examples for this. Summarizing at the end of the group counseling session, summarizing when you are passing to another activity, these are important. And we gather the life history data of our each group member. And afterwards, we do analysis of lifestyle, which means we had the questions in previous slides, but basically, what are your life goals? And how is your relationship? How do you live relationship with yourself, with other people's? How do you live your life? Are you interested in other people, nature, world, etc. Further with the techniques, since we gather information from the past of our group members, we interpret those experiences that they had in their families. But since we already told that the group setting is a microcosm, or a family type environment, they will reflect their experiences and conflicts out there, and we will do interpretations out of those experiences, okay? And also, for early recollections, we will ask, for example, the three main memories our group members had from their childhood. Also, we gather information about their birth order. You know, these are Adlerian main concepts, main theory concepts. And based on these, we can do suggestions on how they can proceed, how they can develop social interest, or how they can form a lifestyle for them. And in order to do this, we need to offer some encouragement to our clients, to the group members. Sometimes this encouragement comes from us, but sometimes we foster the other group members to encourage each other. Also, we may give some homework assignments. And also, we assist the group members to search for new possibilities in their lives. Since we aim to foster social interest in them, since we aim to create new life goals, to be in connection with other people, to manage and regulate their relationship with themselves, with their world, and with other people. So we assist them to search for new possibilities, but we are not the only person who are assisting, as I've said before. Also, we can encourage the other clients to assist the other group members in searching for new possibilities. Okay, there's this interaction in the therapeutic relationship. And we still have some more techniques. And you know that Adlerian approach has a psychoeducational focus as well. They are after re-educating the client in terms of fostering their self-awareness. So they also have present and future orientation. They get information from past. You already know it through family constellation, early recollections, and birth order, etc. They also gather information from past, but they mostly concentrate on present and future. And they may be brief or time limited Adlerian group therapies. We already talked about interpretation, and they are also after addressing members' underlying motives for behaving the way they do in the here and now. They focus on what is going on here and now. And for example, a member is very silent or another member is very angry. Okay, they open this in the group and they ask, what is the reason behind your silence? Or you seem to be very angry, especially while Sevda is talking in the groups. I usually see you are getting angry. And now it is the same, you're angry, Ali. Do you have anything to say about this? We try to interpret it. Most probably, Sevda resembles Ali's mother, and as a result of this understanding, there will be a resolution in the group, okay? And question and interpretation are most frequently used, and the way Adlerians ask questions are in this way. Could it be that your frequent reaction of feeling ignored in this group has something to do with being unnoticed by your family when you were a child? Okay. This question both involves a question and both an interpretation, and this is a high level skill. Okay, this is a nice contribution, nice technique to use, but you should repeat it to yourself and you should practice such techniques actually, but this is a good one. And we will go in deep for interpretation technique. Interpretations are open-ended presentations of clinical hunches that can be explored in group sessions. And throughout interpretations coming from either the therapist or the other group members, participants will come to a deeper psychological understanding of themselves. And There is always hope throughout the therapeutic approach, and changes facilitated by the emerge of hope. And Adlerians often use this action-oriented technique as a way to facilitate shifting one's view of situation, enabling members to reflect on how they could be different. Okay, we are trying to show our clients the points where they can differentiate themselves or the settings they are already in. Also, you can ask questions like, what could you do in order to um, differentiate the things they are as they are now? What would be the things that you would do differently in order to change the situations, etc.? You can ask such questions. And catching oneself is a technique used in the process of repeating old patterns that have led to ineffective or self-defeating behavior. In catching oneself, helping individuals identify signals associated with problematic behavior or emotions. Mesela arkadaşlar bu şöyle, farklı bir theoretical approach takip ediyor olsanız da bu teknikten yararlanabilirsiniz. Mesela grup member'ı grup üyesinin sürekli depremle ilgili düşünceleri oluyor. Yani hiç deprem yaşamamış. Deprem bölgesinde yaşamıyor. Ama sanki sürekli deprem olacakmış gibi geliyor diyor. Soruyorsunuz günün hangi zamanında, hangi günler, ne kadar sıklıkla geliyor bilmiyor. O zaman mesela bir ödev olarak danışana şunu ödev verebiliyorsun. Gelecek seansa kadar, gelecek grup seansınıza kadar aklına deprem olacak fikrinin geldiği zamanlarda kendini yakala. Bunu bir adım daha ilerletip ve bu anları not al da diyebilirim. Tamam mı? Ama kendini yakala. Çünkü sana grup member'ı diyor ki yani bilmiyorum ne zaman geliyor diyor. Biz de bunu farkındalığa getirmek istediğimiz ve bir insight hani geliştirmek istediğimiz için kendini yakala diye onu yönlendirebiliriz. Tamam mı? Ektezi var sandım. Teori dersiyle bu ders Theories of Counseling de o kadar baş başa gidiyor ki bazen hangi derste hani ektezifi mesela diğer derste anlatmışım. Onlarda da adler anlatmıştım. Arkadaşlar ektezifin temelinde de şu var. Şimdi hepimizin hayatında tekrar eden davranışlar var, tamam mı? Ve ya da duygu örüntüleri var, davranış örüntüleri var. Ve bir an geliyor ki biz fark ediyoruz. Bu davranış örüntüleri aslında yaşamımızda uymamızı bozuyor. İlişkilerimizde, hocamızla ilişkimizde, ders çalışma pratiğimizde, kendimizle olan ilişkimizde bu tekrar eden davranış ya da duygu örüntüleri yaşamla uymamızı bozuyor. Yani dengemizi de bozuyor. O zaman bunu gruba getiren üye ile şunu çalışıyoruz. Sanki böyle bir örüntün yokmuş gibi yap. Ya da bu örüntüyü fark edip artık bunu tekrar etmeyecek olsan nasıl olurdu? Yani birazcık böyle pretend play gibi. Bu olmasaydı nasıl olurduyu yaşatıyoruz ya da dile getiriyoruz danışanımıza. O da böyle bir teknik. Thank you.